Hello, welcome back. Today I'm going to be finishing 9 stitching cards that I have already stitched all of the stitching on, and now I'm going to assemble them and do a little bit of gluing, do a little bit of die cutting, and finish them off. It can be really tempting to just die cut and stitch and stitch and stitch and then end up with a pile of stitching pieces and no actual cards. So I went ahead and now am taking those pieces and turning them into cards. So for this first one, I am using the small die of the month for May, which is actually currently available to subscribe to, and you can get that for only $15, and it is a steal for $15. It comes with the flower, that big white piece that I have there, and then the hello words, and even just the words and the extra little flowers that aren't on this card but are in that set are worth $15. Additionally, you get that big white piece that I'm holding right there, so definitely worth it. So for my first card here, it's kind of a spring summery hello card, and I used a few different colors for my embroidery floss and just made a little cheerful hello card. And as I've mentioned in other videos, I do use some tools all the time. So one of those tools is this reverse tweezers from EK Tools. That's where mine's from, but I mean, they have tweezers, reverse tweezers, really at any craft store. So if you're interested in that, I'd highly recommend using a reverse tweezers for placement. It really just takes your hand out of the way and you're able to see what you're working on without having to fumble around. And sometimes things can be really small, so I will use my jewel picker. That's the thing with the blue tip there. I do have a black one that I occasionally use in videos as well. Basically, it's just a wax tip. And that's the finished card. Now for this one, I used the stitched oval die, and I didn't cut out the center. I wanted it to be kind of big and bold in the middle, and I layered that with a stitched medallion, and this is currently sold out, but I am sure that they will put that back in stock. And that is the finished card for that one. I didn't want to go too full on because these are quite full on. They are A2 sized, all of these are so far, and this stitching piece is completely covering the whole card, and I love this one. I think it's really nice. You can change up the colors. It's awesome. Now for this one, I'm using that stitched oval again with the stitched flowers, and I'm pretty sure the stitched flowers are currently sold out as well, but they will be coming back, I'm sure. And both of those, the stitched medallion and the stitched flower, are both $14.99, so I've already made plenty of cards with that, so totally worth it. And on the background of these, I'm going to take my cardstock pieces and put them in a shoot, I forgot what these are called. Embossing folders, an embossing folder. And this is the embossing folder from April from the club membership, and it's called Sunrays. You can use it for many different things. In the background, I've used it mostly like this. I wanted to do a card using that and then taking a circle die and cutting it out the center. So who knows if I will make that happen. Sometimes I have ideas and I have to write them down, otherwise I will completely forget. Now with this blue flower that I'm holding, I took my first one, the dark blue one on top, and layered it on top of a blue piece of flower die, but I didn't stitch on the light blue one because I just wanted it to give a little bit more dimension and to change up the color. I will also be adding a pearl embellishment. to that one. Now with my green card, I'm basically doing the exact same thing with the background for my cardstock. Then I will add my oval, and when I'm adding my oval, this time I chose to use my double-sided tape, but typically if I'm putting a stitched element that has mostly stitching on the back, I will use my liquid glue just because I think it holds a little bit better. But I guess since the oval has the big white paper in the center, it does stay with the double-sided tape. That's the finished card. I will do one more with the full die. I think that this one is really fun to stitch. It's almost like a puzzle, trying to figure out where to hide all of my tails. So that's pretty fun. I did just pick up from my local craft store this little tool from DMC, the embroidery floss company, I guess you could call it. This little tool that hides the ends of the embroidery projects with a little bit of a hook. It kind of reminds me of a crochet hook, also a candy cane, if that makes any sense. Anyway, moving on to my next card, I will be using the Stitched Thanks, which is a die set that came out last year in 2021, and I just find myself reaching for it quite often because you always need thank you cards, and it's a pretty quick stitch. It takes about an hour for me to do all of the stitching for the thanks cards. And I typically put them on a card base that is just a little bit shorter than a slimline card. The width is still the same. I guess that would be, so the width is the same, the length is a little shorter, just because I don't want a lot of empty space on the sides. And I chose to use kind of a darker purple for all of my letters. On camera, it definitely stands out a little bit more than it does in person, so trust me, it works. And with this card, I am going to add several gemstone embellishments to give it a little bling, since it's a pretty girly card. It's always so fun to do all of the stitching for all of the projects, but actually putting them together into cards really shows how fun stitching can be, because you don't just stitch on the card. You get to put it onto a card base, you get to add different colored papers and embellishments, and it really becomes a piece of art. And it's really fun to see it all come together. This one I just had to quickly trim down. There we go. I'm not sure why, but on camera that pink thanks looks a little off color as well, but trust me, in person, the purple and the pink, they look nice, I promise. These pearl embellishments I picked up on Amazon about 2.5 years ago, and it seems like they are the endless embellishments. When I got them, the container was completely full, and I have a lot left still, so who knows, maybe with all of these stitching cards and adding embellishments, it will go down. I'm going to link everything that I used in the description in case you are wondering about any of the products, but if you do have any questions about any products or any of the methods or anything that you see in the video, please let me know in the comments below, and I will try to answer them as soon as I can. I'd also love to know which card is your favorite, and maybe what your favorite color is. I'm looking at all of my stitching, and I'm reaching for pinks and purples a lot, so I'm trying to reach for some blues, greens, golds, browns, but it's kind of a challenge because my hand is just drawn to purple. I don't even know why. It's not even my favorite color, but that is life. Anyway, I did want to just mention that this last way of gluing was the fastest way I've ever glued on letters. I basically just traced the glue bottle where I thought the letters would go and went with it. Kind of a gamble, but it worked. But that's okay, because I'm learning and trying new things, and it's really fun. So if you're interested in seeing even more things in the future, please go ahead and subscribe. And if you like the video, it kind of helps reach more people, so that would be really helpful as well. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.